Hi family, how you doing? So today I want to make a video and share about internal cleansing for womb radiance. Actually, this information could be for any adult, but it's especially important for a radiant womb health. So the first thing I want to say is that this information is lifestyle information, healthy lifestyle information that the ancients and our ancestors and basically all peoples that were just in the earth and part of the earth and sustainably knew and were aware of. And that is that everything in nature has cycles of cleansing and cleaning. Everything. The animals, often when they get sick, they instinctively fast or know where to find herbs to clean themselves out. Cleansing is a major function to get healthy when you're sick and to prevent sickness. Internal cleansing of the organs, and it's something that in modern lifestyle it's not really even given any attention. It's not really a part of the economy or commerce, understanding like that you need to really cleanse. The old people kind of know it. But okay, so it's something that we actually naturally do too, when, especially if you watch children, when they get sick, they'll automatically, first thing, they'll lose their appetite. Their body wants to go into fasting mode so it can burn off whatever it is that's causing them discomfort and give them diarrhea so they can flush it out. It's a natural function. So I love this analogy that kind of helps us understand how to cleanse. Now that we're a little bit removed from the memory of it being just a natural rhythm and to do it during different seasons and for what the reasons are to do it. It's very simple. So imagine an apartment complex that has many floors. And on each floor, there's a trash chute. Okay, where everybody dumps their trash, and at the bottom of that trash chute is a big old dumpster that waste management comes maybe 2-3 times a week and empties the dumpster. But now imagine that waste management didn't empty the dumpster. They just picked up the trash that fell on the floor. So then the trash would rise up the chute, go out in everybody's floors. Eventually this is gonna happen. It's gonna stink. You're going to get all kind of rats and rodents. Nobody's going to want to be there. It's going to feel bad. People are going to start using their sinks, their toilets for things that it was never really even meant to be used for. And everything's just going to start slowly breaking down. Then you're going to get infestations of mold and all kind of weird things growing in your apartment complex because the garbage isn't being taken care of effectively and thoroughly each time it needs to be. So imagine you're living in this apartment complex now, okay? And somebody comes along and says, we have a rat problem. Well, they're right. They'd be right. They got a rat problem, so they're going to come and call the people to exterminate the rats. Well, that's kind of what you want to do eventually, but first you need to fix the cause of the problem, which is the fact that the basura, garbage, isn't getting thrown out completely each time, and it's backed up and in all the system of the entire complex. You got garbage where it shouldn't be. So now let's switch this analogy over to the body. The dumpster of the body is the large intestine, the colon. Literally, the lymph system has a tube that dumps its waste in the descending colon. So does the liver. So, I mean, even all the eliminating organs have connections to the colon. When they get overfull, they have to have ways to get out. The body is made so dynamically. There's so many ways to cleanse and many organs to cleanse. I just cleansed a whole bunch of gases out of my body. But now, what we're talking about is our modern day lifestyle of eating lots of cooked foods and sitting most of the time instead of reaching for our foods and breathing and doing yoga as just a lifestyle. It's just a way to sit. You know what I mean? It's a way to be. We don't really do that anymore as much in our culture. So then we end up, it's a sedentary lifestyle, ends up with layers of plaque and mucus and things stuck and crystallized in places just like that apartment complex. When the garbage doesn't get thoroughly taken out, it's gonna get stuck in crevices, and then they're gonna be the opportunistic parasites are gonna start living in there, such as worms and stuff. It looks like bad breath, it looks like joint pain, it looks like acne, it looks like PMS, it looks like bad moods, it looks like all kind of weird things that we think are actual diseases, and then it becomes chronic diseases, and then we take these drugs when really it's just you need to shit and you got a booger in your fallopian tubes. That's all it is. Okay, so now here's the next question. How do we do it? There's a plethora of ways to cleanse the body thoroughly. You can do it in an intense, the sun is kind of, I don't want it to glare. You can do it in an intense kind of way where it's fast, and those are kind of uncomfortable often when you do things really fast, but you can also do it gradually, nutritiously with your diet. I always recommend going the gradual, easy way. Why? Because life is really painful and intense these days, and everything is going really fast, and I promise you we've had enough pain to last all of eternity for everybody on the planet Earth. So I just say no more pain. Why? If you can cleanse painlessly without it getting in the way of your life, do it. And I promise you, you can do it so easily with just green juice and water and exercise. That's really simple. Really, so what you want to do is cleanse and focus on the large intestine and the colon first. You want to make sure that colon is moving and for a couple of days completely flowing. Let me get out of this sun glare. Okay, I think that's a little better. For a couple of days, completely flowing, okay? So my favorite thing to do is to go on a full raw diet, all raw fruits and vegetables and green juices for just like maybe 3 days, 3 or 5 days even. And you'll feel the difference after the first day of shitting a lot, okay? The next day you'll feel better, you'll wake up fat. You know, I had a friend who's a raw foodist that stayed with me for a couple of weeks. I am not a raw foodist, I eat everything, but I also cleanse a lot, so I don't really have any health problems, but and I attribute that to cleansing and taking herbs and just exercising a lot and feeding myself a lot of love, as much love as I can muster up, and putting my feelings first. So cleansing, so the way I recommend doing it, like I said, to go back, to do it painfully and gradually, is with raw fruits and vegetables all day, every day. And you need to eat a lot of it. It needs to be a raw feast, not fast, but feast. I mean, you need to get full on it. You need to not be hungry at all, not one moment, because the first meal you skip, you begin to fast, and your body begins to burn off and digest the toxins instead of flushing them out and neutralizing them. And these days, these toxins that we're dealing with ain't your average toxins. They're inorganic materials. We have microplastics, heavy metals, and when you burn those and metabolize those off, it hurts. And it's not your average thing that we were built to burn and metabolize off. So I think fasting is a beautiful thing to do, and I think it deserves a lot of attention, but it's more for those people who are advanced in understanding and feeling their body, and when the body's a little bit off kilter, and have already gotten out that massive chunks of waste in the colon, the intestine. Don't burn that off. Get it out. Get all of that out first with lots of roughage, okay? You can juice, I mean, literally, you want to have like 6 meals a day of salads and lightly steamed veggies if you need to. And if you need to, you can put some whole grains in there, you know? Nothing that I will ever recommend is going to be painful or hurt or help or induce any type of imbalance. Even though there are programs out there for that, and they are effective, but most of them require you to have a professional watch over you. What I'm talking about is lifestyle ways that wise women knew from ages above, ages beyond. And it's just a way to eat and live. And when you feel like yourself is congested and you got things to get out, take a couple of days, go raw. I mean, raw feast it. Raw feast it. And you know you're cleansing when you go to the bathroom and there's so much fecal matter in there, you're surprised. If you're not surprised, you are not cleansing. If it looks like a regular let go, it's not a full cleanse. The average American is walking around with 20 to 30 pounds of fecal matter in there. So we're talking about filling that bowl up 3 times a day. And what's going to do that is raw roughage, because it has enzymes in it to disconnect the mucus and the fecal matter from the tissues, dissolve it, and let it get out. Not only that, it moves through your entire digestive canal much faster, and you don't really have to do too much to let go. Once the colon begins to move, the other organs are going to get the signal as well. Oh, cool, we can let go, and they're going to dump into the colon as well, and you're going to see stuff coming out in all kind of colors. Bile is going to come out all kind of green, and it's going to be a beautiful experience once you're done, you know. And if at any time you feel uncomfortable, you want to, in this method that I'm talking about, in raw food feasting, you want to just, take chamomile tea, chlorophyll. So basically we're talking about cleansing by eating lots of raw fruits and vegetables and juices with all the pulp and the fiber in it. Okay, and all day long, as much as you can. Now, I enhance my cleanses with a really gentle herbal formula. Gentle, because there's many herbs out there, like I said, that'll make you go really fast, diarrhea, and clean everything out. But I don't like cramping. I don't like having gas. I don't like having to sit on the toilet all day long. And you don't have to do that. If you eat to cleanse raw foods, you're not going to be rushing to the bathroom and having to sit there and having the cramps. You won't. And it'll be very effective without any cramping. And like I said, now, I enhance my raw food feasting times, internal cleansing times, with this gentle herbal formula called TRIPHALA. It's an Ayurvedic formula of 3 herb berries, and it's native to, the Indian continent, country over there in Asia. And it's beautiful. It's gentle. You take it in the morning with hot water and at night with hot water while you're during your feasting times. You can actually take it throughout when you're not internally cleansing as well, and it's also effective. But it helps to, at a cellular level, this herb will neutralize, disconnect all kind of stagnant conditions, mucus, all kind of, and it's so gentle, and you don't get cramping or diarrhea unless you take too much. So you want to pay attention to your body. And I literally start with 1/4 teaspoon of the powder in hot water at night. I'm telling you, this is really simple. Really, really, really simple, and incredibly key and foundational to womb health. Why? Because the womb is literally enveloped by that large intestine full of shit. Okay? And that vaginal canal runs parallel to the descending colon, like that last part of it that connects to the anus, right? They're parallel. And that tissue that divides those 2 canals, it's fully permeable. So you got all kind of waste matter in this here hole that's just sitting there forever. It's even inorganic and toxic. And then you have a beautiful, precious hole here, self-sustaining, self-cleaning, with a specific pH right next to each other. This will leach into this. Okay, and you'll notice that when you do your cleansing, each cycle, if you still have your cycle, will smell a lot fresher and be a lot faster and will be bright red. No more black stagnant blood. So that's why it's really important to cleanse for womb health. If you have fibroids, if you have reoccurring bacterial vaginosis, if you have candida, overgrowth and imbalance, all of these things that the first thing you're going to do to cleanse them out is an internal cleanse, focusing on the large intestine. A full whole body cleanse focusing on the large intestine is the first step to anything you want to do to transform any part of your body, really, but especially the womb, especially with the reproductive system. You really, really want to make sure that you always have that colon flowing. And in this lifestyle, like I said, like we all are experiencing, it's really easy to not have it flowing because we sit too much and eat too much cooked food. And food that's not even food. And And that's cool. It's not about judgment. It's about, now what do you do? It's easy to flush it out. It's so easy to flush it out. And the more chronic your condition is that you want to heal, the more you're going to need to cleanse. And you know that let it be gradual. Let it be gentle. Let it be easy. That's my plea to my sisters, is that we've been through so much rough treatment, and then it's time to like experience some gentleness. And this can be done gently, efficiently, quickly with raw foods. And like I said, I highly recommend TRIPHALA, this gentle herbal Ayurvedic formula that does not cause cramping, but does a thorough job gently. Now let me make sure I went over all of my notes, because this is really important. Okay, so some of the supporting activities that you can do while you're cleansing is bathing. Bathing is not just bathing like we think it is. Bathing can reset your entire energy system. Your skin is a third kidney. It releases as much toxins as a kidney does. And bathing and dry brushing is really important while you're cleansing. So you can get a lot of the waste material that's water soluble out of the body even faster, even more. Also, oil pulling is a wonderful tool that I make sure I do while I'm cleansing. I try to make it a regular lifestyle habit, but it's basically you put some coconut oil or any kind of organic, pure, high quality oil in your mouth, and you just swish it around in the morning on an empty stomach for 15 to 20 minutes. There's all kind of nerve endings. Your teeth and your mouth, your jaw, it's the circuit breaker for your body. The circuit breaker for your body. So each tooth is a different, what is that word in this? Anyway, it's a different electrical conduit that it's in charge of for the body and the meridians of the body. So it's really important. You can cleanse out of your mouth, and you can restore your health through the mouth as well. So there's bathing, dry brushing, oil pulling, massage, foot baths, drinking clay, drinking charcoal. There's a plethora and an infinite number of things that you can do to support and cleanse even more thorough while you're on this raw food feast. I'm not really going to get into all the different things that you can do to eat, because I'm not a cook or a chef, and I ain't really good at it. And there's some people that are professional at it, and I'm going to bring them on here in our group to share as well, because they make some awesome food. But that's the easy part as far as I'm concerned, to get really creative with it. That's the easy part. You can YouTube it and Google it, and just make it beautiful, and be in love with yourself in the day, and breathe deep and stretch and be alive. Then, after a few days or weeks, depending on how backed up you are, of cleansing, then we begin the womb treatments. Then we begin the deep, intensive womb renewal diet, and suppositories, and sitz baths, and massages for the womb. Otherwise, it'll be like that apartment complex that's got garbage everywhere, and instead of taking the garbage out first, you're just going to go around and kill the rats. Well, that's a waste of money and time. You know what I mean? Maybe for a day you're going to find less rats, but after, they'll come right back. That's why you have to internally cleanse first. Internally cleansing is the first step to anything you want to do, to make a change, to transform, to get rid of chronic illness. Before you call yourself chronically ill with anything, eczema, arthritis, please do a cleanse first. Do a really good cleanse first. Then see if you're actually sick with that thing. Because 90%, the woman who trains me tells me 90% of the people that come to her with chronic diseases, they're really just full of shit. I mean, I just had to say it. But literally, in a literal way, they're just really backed up. Their entire system just has way too much stuff that needed to have been thrown out, and it didn't get thrown out in a timely fashion. So this video is being streamed live exclusively to this Sister Cypher Sanctuary for the Feminine Divine on Facebook Live. It's our group. Please, if you have any questions, you can DM me, put them in the comment of this. If there's any information I don't know, I can point you in the right direction. if you have any issues, and please consult a professional. If you're in full health, please go forward and prepare your mind, prepare the meals for the week, for the cleanse, and even find friends to do it with. It's a thing of willpower, really. And that's it. It's not even an issue of access. It's cheaper than meat. It's not a thing of economic access. It's not a thing of, it's really just a thing of exposure to the information that is causing our health to decline in numbers these days. But with our self-empowerment and remembering these simple ways of living on this planet, we can live a lot longer and be radiant and be with each other and loving each other in our best forms a lot longer. So you can visit my website, lunarrainbotanicals.com. If you go to the internal cleansing page, there's a little summary of all of this that we just spoke of in detail, where you can take your time and read it over, plus more information and scientific studies that they've done on the Ayurvedic formula TRIPHALA that I'm talking about. And you can also get TRIPHALA from my website too. But my most important, please don't let money or not having the money be the thing as to why you wouldn't cleanse, because like I said, it's not money. If you have enough money for any food, you can get vegetables and eat those for a couple of days and cleanse your whole body out. And water. Herbs aren't necessary. The earth is more than enough for us. So anyway, I love you guys so much. And I am so honored to be able to share this, what I know, in the name of my ancestors, our ancestors, and the earth, and the Most High. Okay, peace and love. Please feel free, like I said, reach out, ask questions, let's share and help each other. Okay, peace and love.